Survey BC. I'm very honored and privileged to support the Project Impact Healthy Aging program, and this is the showcase for 2023. I want to thank you all for coming, and I also want to thank you especially because this is Seniors Week in our province, and this celebration coincides with this special week. I also want to welcome those that are joining by live stream. All of our 7 teams this year are from outside the Lower Mainland, and we wanted to give the opportunity for their friends, their family, and their program participants to see and hear about the findings from this year's teams. I also want to acknowledge that we are on the ancestral and stolen lands of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh nations. Since time immemorial, they have stewarded this lands, and we're grateful to be here today. Before I invite Elder Glyda and her daughter Jane to come and do a welcome for everybody, I want to ask or just remind you where the bathrooms are. So we have bathrooms right behind me, and we also have just around the corner out this exit a gender neutral washroom. The Wi-Fi password is there, but we will ask everybody to take a moment to turn their phones off so that they don't interrupt us. So if you can make sure your phones are on silent. I also want to acknowledge the poem that I read as we gathered. We're gathering in this space as though we're meeting at a table. I mean, we're not around a table at the moment, but we've all come from different walks and different experiences. And just to give us all a moment to leave those things behind or put them on pause, and to just take a moment to really acknowledge the 7 teams that have gathered here today to share their learnings with everyone. I want to thank also Chris, who has come to be our videographer and our photographer and who's making the live stream possible, as well as my colleagues Jessa, Bobby, Kahir, and Bev, who have come to support me from the Healthy Aging Department and to support the team's work. Thank you again for coming, and I want to welcome Glyda and her daughter now. I think I got your name wrong. Is that right? Okay. Jade, sorry. So Elda, Glyda, and Jade will come up. Thank you so much.
Welcome, everyone. Is that better? It's an interesting setup. I can hear myself a little bit now, so that's a good thing, I think. So I'm wanting to begin. I'll introduce myself. First of all, I would like to just raise my hands in gratitude to the host nations for allowing us to have our beautiful gathering on their sacred unceded lands in Musqueam, the Squamish, and the Tsleil-Waututh. Just giving them honor, the host nations. And I'm Elder Glyda from Morgan, from the Squamish Nation. I don't know if you know where that is, but that's in a place called Paul River, and that's my mother's people. And my father is born in a place called Church House, BC. I don't know, anybody heard of Church House? Not too many. It's at the mouth of Butte Inlet, and relocated to Campbell River. And it's beautiful, beautiful country. Just lots of trees and rivers and just all of that. And I'm a mother of 2 adult children, one to my right, and I have an older daughter who's 50, and 1 grandson who's 31, and a great-grandson who's 9. So I just want to give you another hour of who I am. Just kidding. I just want to welcome you, and I'll let my daughter introduce herself.
Hello, I'd just like to say I'm very honored to be here, and I just want to say that I can tell all the people called different cultures and of all the 4 directions here. It's so beautiful. Us all coming together on this beautiful sunny day. And my name is Jade Morgan. My native name is Ian, which means leaf. And I got that from my grandfather when I was 12. I'm 13 years old a while ago. I'm 41 years old now, and I've been learning and singing ever since I was 12 years old. Thank you.
Yeah, we have her father's people. Her late father is Kitwanga, and anyone know where that is? That's the gateway to Alaska, apparently. So I just want to appreciate and honor all of you beautiful people, and especially for this event. I see a sign that says healthy aging, and wow, what a concept that is. So I'm just so honored to be here again and appreciate the invitation. And to begin, I always want to say that we are all together. We are one. When I look out and see all the different beautiful people, all the different ethnicities, in my heart we are all one. And so that's the name of the song, One Heart. And I would like to give a shout out to our people that are online. Welcome, welcome everyone. And after the song, I will do a quick blessing. Some of you may have heard the saying, one heart, one mind, Nasamat. It's been said quite a bit here in the lower mainland. And so this song was created before that I became aware of that. And when I say one heart, one mind, it includes everyone. It includes all of you, all of our families, all of our friends, everyone. And I think the beauty of that is, imagine us all just standing proudly side by side with love, one heart, one mind, Asana. So that's what this song is about, one heart, one people. One heart, one people. We are one heart, one people. We are one heart in eternity. One heart, bring us free. We are one heart, bring us free. We are one heart. You're one. And what an amazing, amazing thought that is. Just to bring peace and love to each of us and respect. I'm going to invite you all to pray in your own way. There's no right or wrong way to pray, I always say. As long as it's coming from your heart, I think that's all that matters. So I'm going to invite in our grandmothers, our great-grandmothers, our grandfathers, our great-grandfathers, right back to the first ones, inviting the Creator to come in and be with us. Creator, I'm asking for blessings for each person here, for all their family, for all their friends, and for the ones that we are reaching online. Prayers up. I'm asking for prayers for our sacred animals, for the ones that soar in the sky, and the ones that swim in the oceans, rivers, and lakes, and for the ones that crawl upon our first holy mother, sacred earth, and for the two-leggeds and the four-leggeds. Creator, I'm asking for prayers for the ones that are hurting. Lift them up. Asking for prayers with the ones, for the ones without homes. Take care of them. Prayers for the ones without food. I'm asking for special prayers for our missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls, and two-spirit boys and men. Take care of them. Take care of their spirits. Prayers with them. I'm also inviting prayers for the recovered spirits, the 215 plus that began in short neck territory with Kamloops, and the recovered spirits. It's over 10,000 across Canada now. Asking for prayers. I want to invite prayers in for the ones that have gone through the COVID, and for the ones that have gone through this opioid crisis. Bring blessings to them and the families, and for the ones that have gone on in the spirit world. Creator, I'm asking for blessings for the ones that have gone through the fires and the floods and that's happened in these past couple of years or so. Take care of them and their families. I'm asking for prayers of peace for the wars that we're having around the world, in particular Europe. Bring peace to them, Creator. Again, I'm asking this in a good and humble way as we gather here today, and the work that you're doing. Bless each person here and the ones that are online listening. Raising my hands, Creator, blessings for all that are doing the good work. All my relations, Emo, Squire, OCM, thank you. Starting our gathering in a good way, and thank you for the food that we have eaten and some have yet to eat. And so blessings for all of your sacred foods put together by loving hands, Creator, all my relations. Emo, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Elder Glyda and Jade, for setting the tone for our evening, and I just want to welcome up now Kahir Lalji, who's the Director of the Government Relations and Government Programs Department at United Way BC. Thanks so much, Kahir.
Thank you. Thank you, Esther. Point to self, do not wear nosy shoes when you have to walk up for a presentation, which I'm clearly learning. Thank you for the wonderful welcome and for the wonderful opening. It's really set the tone for the rest of the evening. Thank you all for being here as well. I know you've all taken time out of your day-to-day work, not only to be here today, but also you found it valuable enough to take that extra time over the course of the last year to prove and improve the invaluable work that you're making in the lives of older British Columbians across the province. So thank you for your collective investment of work and time and capacity in the programs that you offer to older British Columbians. At the outset, I want to recognize Dialogues in Action, as well as the leadership of Esther, whose vision has brought this program together since 2018, I believe. And the 7 organizations here today are part of an alumni of 34 other organizations and over 100 participants that have come together to prove and improve the work that you're doing in community. This work also would not be possible without the partnership of the province of British Columbia, who also sees value in really making sure the work that we do in community is relevant. And let me tell you, they refer to the books often. And so, you know, it's making an impact in terms of the value of the work that's being done in community, but also the ability for us to be vulnerable and learn so that the work that we do continues to be meaningful and relevant to those that we serve. United Way is committed to a few things, but 2 I'll shed some light on today. 1, in supporting older British Columbians to be connected, active, and engaged in their communities. And through working with hundreds of organizations, similar to those of you that are in the room here, we work to try and make sure that we maximize the amount of resources and programs and services that are available to older British Columbians in an era where I know it's tricky to live for all of us. And so I want to acknowledge your leadership and your commitment to serving the people of British Columbia. We are also committed in investing in the capacities of communities, of people, and of local community-based organizations. And this is one way we do it. And under Esther's leadership and in partnership with many other organizations in the province, there are several different types of capacity building initiatives one can participate in. I'd say this is particularly unique. It's unique because the level of commitment matches the outcome and the product of what is provided. And you see this in the annual publications. And this isn't easy work. This is tricky work. It's reflective. It pushes us to kind of be critical on the way that we work. But this is all in service to serving the people that we are serving. And so I want to thank you all for that and acknowledge the incredible work, not only of those in the room, but your teams and thousands of volunteers across BC that work with organizations like yours to make this work happen. We also know there's work to be done. We know the demand for programs and services is higher than others. And I don't think that we should be so naive to not address that and to realize that. There's a renewed commitment to working with the government over the next 2 years to develop and enhance the work that we're doing. And so this really comes off the back of your leadership and the impact that you're making in community. Before I end, I think I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge, as Esther did, that this event falls during BC Seniors Week. And it offers us a moment to reflect, which I hope we do throughout the year, the foundations, the legacy, the contributions that people of all ages make to the province of British Columbia, but in particular, those that have preceded us and laid the foundation for us to be here on. And so I want to acknowledge that and ask you to reflect and to celebrate the diversity of older British Columbians, because that's what makes us strong. And it's those perspectives and the diversity of thought and the diversity of perspectives that really allow us to grow and makes us comfortable enough to do that deeper dive. And, this is not about evaluation. This is not about, making sure that we have ongoing funding. Yes, we that's in the back of our minds, but this is about making sure that the work that we do is relevant to the people that we serve, and that will yield results. And so I want to thank you. I want to thank Esther for your leadership in organizing this among many other events. And I'm very much looking forward to seeing the outcomes of your presentations today. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Kahir. I now want to introduce you to Erin Upton, who is the coach who led the teams through this 7-month journey, but I'll let her speak more to what the program was all about. Thanks, Erin.
I have to practice doing this for you all, so I'll start with myself. It's not going very well, is it? There we go. Hi, everyone. I'm very grateful to be here tonight and to see some new faces, and then, of course, lots of familiar faces. I'm Erin Upton. I'm with Dialogues in Action, and along with Steve Patty, had the absolute joy of getting to meet all of the cohort this year and help just support them in doing the hard work of this project impact over the past 8 months or so. So I too am excited to see your presentations. But before we get started on that, I'll just briefly share a little bit about what this is and how we approach evaluation a little bit differently than is standardly done, or in ways that you might have heard before about other evaluations. So we really want to approach evaluation kind of and get beyond just data collection. We think of it as an opportunity to learn and to discover and to respond. And so the teams kind of throughout these last months have learned a methodology, which Kahir referred to a few times, to both prove and improve on the efforts of assisting the older population in their communities. And so we think that this is about learning, and it's also about accountability. And we approach this evaluation, the teams approach this evaluation in 3 phases. So we start really with intention, and the teams spend some time getting really clear on what is the impact that they're intending to have in their communities through their efforts. So a lot of times in evaluation, we do a lot of counting and trying to understand what our effort is, what we do. But through Project Impact, we're trying to understand the impacts, the changes that are happening in people as a result of our efforts. So we start off by getting really clear what is the impact we're intending to have, and then we do some deep thinking about how would we know if we're having that impact. So the teams spend a lot of time really contemplating that and building out a framework that will help them go forward to actually start to gather the data about this. And we want to understand beyond just shifts in people. We want to look at different parts of shifts in people. So what do they know that's different in their mental space? How are they behaving? What actions are they doing differently? And also the emotional realm. So how are they feeling, and how is that different as a result of engaging with these programs and approaches? And then we shift into inquiry. So the teams spend time using different methods, designing tools to collect data. So we have a rich, deep qualitative data set where they design interview questions and spend time interviewing their program participants, and then also gathering some quantitative data and designing surveys, and then bringing that all back together for our 3rd stage, which is the implications. So we do some data analysis, some sense making, the kind of so what behind what we're learning, and how is that going to allow the shifts in programs, the new approaches, and also communicating out the really important work that's going on across the province. And so it's really exciting that in this cohort, we have 9 organizations representing 7 teams that are from all around the province, and they're going to introduce where they're from and what they're working on. But I am going to just tell you a little bit about how we're going to shift into the presentations. I'll introduce the presenters who are representative of their teams. thank you for being brave and getting up and volunteering to do this piece. And then they're going to just share briefly what some of their findings are and what they found most compelling, what they're learning, and what they're intending to do with this information going forward. And so with that, I'd like to invite Jennifer from Beacon Community Services to kick us off.
I think that's good. Great. Thank you. Beacon Community Services is a multi-service, not-for-profit organization in Victoria with services to enrich the lives of people from pre-birth to end of life. Beacon delivers compassionate, innovative community programs that foster self-sufficiency, volunteerism, and well-being. We have 265 employees and 563 volunteers supporting the community with a vision to help others, empower communities, and improve lives. Our team works out of the Shoal Centre in Sydney, a 55-plus community centre. We offer recreational activities, seniors outreach through Better at Home and More Than Meals, and seniors wellness programs, which we choose to evaluate for project impact. Our population sample size was 66, chosen from the Family and Friend Caregiver Program, Senior Peer One-to-One Support Program, Senior Wellness Support Groups, and Bereavement and Depression Drop-In Support Groups. From these groups, we chose to interview 24 participants to collect our qualitative findings and surveyed all 66 participants to gather our quantitative data, from which we had 33 responses. While we know the importance of mental health programs, we were pleasantly surprised to find that they are actually improving people's wellness and genuinely and explicitly saving lives. As stated by one participant, this support group in so many ways has saved my life and continues to be my lifeline. Another one stated, "This program has really clicked for me. I thrive in it. I think we need more of it." While we always assumed that physical barriers were something that prevented people from coming to the center, we now know the impact of mental roadblocks. One participant who attended the depression support group had a hard time coming back because she is, quote, "suffering from depression quite badly." This made us consider things to put in place to mitigate these barriers, such as more check-in and reminder phone calls and/or a buddy system with another participant. We also learned that our educational programs are central to our success. Opportunity for lifelong learning increases self-sufficiency and resilience while building solid relationships with community partners. And we discovered the impact our educational opportunities have had on our participants, with one indicating it dramatically changed the way she responded to her spouse who is living with dementia. As part of an organization geared towards improving lives, we expected that people would benefit from our supportive services. But we were challenged by the finding that there may be a dependency on our programs, staff, and volunteers. Participants stated how easy it was to reach out at any time, saying, "I have the option to phone group leaders if I am having a problem with anything." There may be a risk with being too good at what we do. And this is something we should not trumpet about, but in turn ask ourselves, do we need to do a better job of building capacity in our participants to empower them to reach out to other supports on their own? We discovered that building resilience enables seniors to help themselves and in return, give help to others. Creating a community of wellness. We saw this time and time again, how participants in a variety of programs connected, called others that were absent from sessions to check in on them, offered advice to their peers in support groups, and even connected with friends as advocates, encouraging them to find support in their own communities. Our data revealed that Shoal is identified as the hub of the community, an essential support for seniors' physical and mental well-being. However, we are facing an identity crisis. Our center is housed in a seniors' residential facility, and many people think our programs are for residents only. We know we have the capacity to empower more seniors to improve their well-being through a variety of services. And people need to understand the scope of what we do in order for us to fully support the community, reaching out to those we do not know. We need to define what we do in the community to decrease this barrier, creating an accessible, inclusive, welcoming center. This will be our focus over the next year. When we promote our seniors' wellness programs, we will be sure to get the word out about all services offered at Shoal Centre, thus supporting seniors in a holistic way. Thank you.
Thanks, Jennifer. I was mesmerized and I almost forgot to come back up. Next up, we have Jan, and she will be reporting out for Cowichan Brain Injury Society and the Digital Literacy for Seniors programs.
I'm good. Hi, everyone. I took my glasses off, so I can't see you now. My name's Jan Thompson, and I'm with Literacy Now Cowichan, and we did a collaboration with Cowichan Brain Injury Society, and other team members were Chris Rayfuse and Christine Smith, and Emma Knock is in Europe right now, but she's right there, so you can gaze at her. We are located in Duncan on Vancouver Island, and we serve the whole region of the Cowichan Valley. So both our organizations run digital literacy for seniors programs. And so we wanted to evaluate those programs and see how people were connecting and reconnecting after the pandemic. This was the main reason we started these programs. And also to see how they were accessing services online, just as a way for seniors to reconnect with the community. All the instruction that we do is one-on-one, and it can be really tailored to suit the needs of the individual. So we evaluated the programs, and our total population was 40. We did 12 in-depth interviews for our qualitative study and 24 questionnaires for the quantitative. And then we analyzed the data to find key insights into our programs and find gaps and determine what we could do better. So I'm going to focus on three major findings. One is connection, one is frustration, and one is lifelong learning. So the most rewarding finding was hearing about connection, as this was the main driver for starting our programs. 92% of survey respondents said they had seen increases in their connection with others after learning how to use their digital devices, with half of them saying their connection increased considerably or a lot. This increase in connection is also related to other findings, including seniors feeling less isolated and feeling more hopeful after taking our program. One participant stated, "For 2 years, I only came into town twice. That COVID almost killed me. It wasn't COVID, it was the isolation of it." This same participant went on to say that the most rewarding part of the digital literacy program was, in quotes, "definitely connection with people. You can get to people that are worth getting to know." Another participant concluded, "Cowichan Brain Injury Society is an antidote to isolation." After learning more about digital literacy, seniors felt more connected to people, services, and their community. Frustration. As anyone who has used a digital device knows, they can be very frustrating at times. Coming into the program, many seniors felt overwhelmed with the amount of material they felt they needed to know. Learning is never easy, but this is sometimes hard to remember when you're a beginner and it feels like everyone around you is an expert. Memory issues that are common with an aging brain add another level to the feelings of frustration. Brain injury adds yet another. As one participant stated, "I learn it and I do it and then I forget it. And so I have to be taught again." Another, dealing with a technical issue, stated, "It's very frustrating when you're trying to overcome some difficult thing and the thing doesn't behave the way it's supposed to." I'm sure we can all relate to that. One takeaway from this finding is that we need to keep reminding our learners that these feelings are completely normal and happen to everyone, no matter your age or ability. We also need to keep sessions short with plenty of repetition and easy to understand resources at hand. Leading on from this, we also found that seniors felt less discouraged as their learning continued. One stated, "My basic relationship to the laptop is a source of confusion. Now, the confusion is still there, but way less than it was months ago." Another, when asked how their level of understanding of technology had changed, stated, "It's become easier. Everything is easier." This also overlaps with the findings that seniors who took the program found a boost in their confidence and a reduction in feelings of anxiety around technology. Lifelong learning. The final finding that we wanted to share today is that of lifelong learning. We taught the basics of how to use digital devices, and participants took that learning and ran with it. They became curious about other topics, learning new things, and rediscovering old passions. We heard a lot of excitements when participants told us what they'd been learning online. As one stated, "You can stay at home and travel the entire world through the internet. It's amazing." We were struck by the variety of topics that were being investigated and by the number of ways they interacted with the internet and with others. For many of us, having the world at our fingertips has become old hat, but it was great seeing beginners using and exploring it for themselves. Sessions were peppered with old-time music, reminiscing, and laughter. While browsing the internet may seem ordinary and basic, this simple act can forge new brain connections, raising cognitive function while also increasing dexterity and fine motor skills. From the evaluation, we've learned some things we'd like to do better. We learned that we need to develop a more robust way to teach about internet safety and security. We also need to have some focused sessions on navigating online healthcare. These were both topics that we thought had been included sufficiently in our sessions, but the surveys told us otherwise. In summary, we learned that teaching seniors how to use their digital devices is an accessible and easily taught way to build connections and foster continued learning. Seniors learned that their digital devices could save them time and energy, and they built new routines into their days. This helped build connections, reduce feelings of isolation, and improve mental health and well-being. We look forward to incorporating new teaching methods, resources, and socializing time into our programs as we continue working together to increase seniors' digital literacy capacity in the Cowichan Valley region. And I'd like to thank United Way, BC, for sponsoring Project Impact, and Aaron and Steve for helping, and Esther for organizing everything, and always greeting us with a huge smile every morning. And we look forward to discussing more about our findings with you all after the session. Thank you. Thanks, Jan. And next we have Maritza from Desert Sun Counseling and Resource Center.
Thanks, Erin. My name is Maritza Todd, and I'm the Executive Director of Desert Sun Counseling and Resource Center. And I was voluntold by my team members, Bonnie Dancy, Brittany Von Berg, and Armel, to be the presenter here today. So here I am. So Desert Sun is a cradle to grave organization, and we run 18 different programs in the South Okanagan, serving the communities of Osoyoos, Oliver, and OK Falls. We use the Impact Program Assessment Tool to evaluate our therapeutic activation program for seniors. The purpose of this program is to enhance the quality of life for seniors by reducing isolation, enabling connection, and most of all, to ensure that our seniors experience joy. We conducted 24 qualitative interviews and 24 quantitative surveys, and then we compiled and assessed all our data. We are happy to report that our results show that our participants are experiencing an increased positive mood and that they have formed deep connections with each other, which has resulted in an expanded support system for all of them. Our seniors are physically healthier and more active because of the activities offered and the healthy homemade meals that they get to share every day at lunchtime. They are more willing to take risks and learn new things after being exposed to technology, yoga, and different arts and crafts classes. This has led to greater confidence, increased self esteem, and more awareness of self care. The TAPS program has proven to push individuals to do what they thought and felt was impossible. One of our clients attempted suicide 3 times prior to joining our program. She has a social anxiety disorder and an extreme fear of the dark. She was basically a prisoner in her own home. Since joining the program, she does not like to miss a day, and she has also attended an evening event with the rest of the group, the first time in 25 years that she left her home after dark. Other participants commented on how the different activities are waking up their brains and that they feel more hopeful about wanting to live. The finding that challenged our current practice and future plans for our program the most was when we realized that many of our seniors commented in the surveys on how the program has given them a purpose to live. We realized that this meant that if the program was to end, they would lose their purpose again. We are now in the process of providing seniors with opportunities to attend more activities in the community to lessen their dependence on the program and to encourage them to individually or with their new TAPS friends and connections attend these activities. We are now moving some of our exercise classes to the community gym and some of our arts and crafts activities to our arts gallery so that our seniors are exposed to these other opportunities and can participate with other community members. This will build their confidence, and we are hopeful that our seniors will in the future be confident enough to seek and attend other activities outside of the scope of our program. By having this evaluation program in place, we now have the tools to assess this program annually and to continue to improve our program. I'm honored and very grateful to have participated in Project Impact, and our organization is in the process of implementing this assessment tool in all of our 17 other programs. These evaluations will serve us well when we seek funding from local, regional, provincial, and federal sources. And I would also like to really thank United Way and Aya, Erin, Steve, and Esther for this opportunity. Our team really enjoyed participating in this program. So thank you very much.
Next up, we have Gary Sly from East Shore TAPS.
Yeah, I think it's on. Yep. Hi, everybody. Yes, I'm Gary Sly. I'm the Executive Director of South Kootenay Lake Community Services Society. We're a nonprofit along the east shore of Kootenay Lake, and we focus primarily on youth programming and seniors programming. Our East Shore TAPS program is very young. It just started within the last year, so we're quite new to the program. So it's been a really interesting experience working and getting to know all the seniors in our community and getting them involved in the program. We're our communities are stretched sort of along an 80-kilometer stretch of winding road that follows the lake from Creston to Ryandale. So we're it's a mobile TAPS program. We operate 2 days a week, and we move between 4 different communities of Boswell, Grey Creek, Crawford Bay, and Ryandell. And so we move to each community hall every 4 days to operate the program in order to try and access as many seniors throughout that area as we can. It's challenging there because social isolation is a big issue because our population is dispersed over such a large area, and there's no public transportation available. And again, in the winter, the roads are very treacherous out our way. So it's a real challenge for seniors for just getting out, getting to town, which is far. It's usually an hour or so at least for them to travel to town. So it's nice to be able to, facilitate a program where seniors can get together and socialize out our way. It was interesting because initially when we wanted to do all of our surveys and our questionnaires, the seniors, they're extremely independent and a little bit feisty out our way. So they weren't very happy with us. They wondered, why do you want to know so much information? And so they were a bit reluctant, but as we got to know them more and more, and we developed stronger relationships with them, they got to be a little more open with us and willing to engage. So we ended up doing 18 qualitative interviews and 27 surveys with them. So we gathered a lot of information, and we found out some very interesting things. The most encouraging, I think, was the fact that social connections were really getting stronger within the community. I believe it was 83% said since participating in the program that their social connections had improved immensely. And I believe it was 93% said, having the program there that was getting people out of the house more. So it was really great to hear, because throughout the COVID period, people had become so isolated. It was great that they were finding community again and getting back together. And something like that means so much when you're in a remote rural community, because it's so crucial to have those connections that can, become lifelong friendships and support networks that can give seniors a bit of comfort that they'll be able to age in place in a community where there are those supports available. So there's a sense of security once that foundation starts to build. So that was really great to hear. Something that we maybe didn't expect from our surveys was the willingness of seniors to help each other. As people got more connected and they got to know each other more, they were really willing to actually help neighbors that maybe they didn't even know before, and maybe they didn't realize that, certain people had challenges with various things in the community, because a lot of them said, like, they've got the time, they often have the skills, so they were really happy to be given that opportunity to help people. Another thing that's we hadn't expected as well is, we were doing really well at bringing together this social group. It was very successful, but people were, I think, realizing, you're getting all these people together. Wouldn't it be great if we had more opportunity for learning out our way? Again, they're so isolated, we don't have as many opportunities for classes and workshops. So what they were sort of requesting is, let's do some workshops on things that people are interested in, whether they be fermentation workshop, technology workshops, things like that would benefit everybody. So that was really great for us to hear. So that's the type of thing we want to work towards in the future as the program gets more and more, established. So that's one of our goals. In addition, we want to work towards, facilitating a forum where people can connect easier, because by doing that, I think it'll allow people to just help each other without having us there, that they have the connections together, that they can reach out to others. I think from our survey, there were 73% already were saying that they were already reaching out more and more to other people. So it's been a great experience to be involved with them and get to know them and to build trust. And I think, again, we're quite new, so the program's just going to continue to flourish. Many thanks again to United Way for allowing us to participate in the program, because we've learned so much. And thanks to Esther for looking after us so well, and to Aaron and Steve. Yeah, great support. And yeah, we look forward to seeing what comes next in the future. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Gary. I thought it was so interesting that you were just within your first year of the program, and what you can learn at this early stage is really, really inspiring. Next up, we have Pam Myers, Nexus BC Community Resource Center. Thanks, Pam. Mic is probably the right height. How does it feel?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, thanks, Aaron. So I am the executive director with Nexus BC Community Resource Center. We're in Vernon, BC, and we serve the North Okanagan area. We provide service. We've been doing this for 35 years at Nexus BC, and we provide services for job seekers, seniors, and really anyone who's looking for information from us. So that covers a lot. We evaluated 2 programs in this project. One is Better at Home, where we have a Better at Home contract to provide non-medical supports for seniors in the community, and our Connect program, which provides navigation, information, and referral services. So the project itself, we kind of up front at the very outset, we identified impacts, important impacts that we felt we would see in this kind of research. And so that kind of flavored the research that we did. So the project itself, over the 7 months, we sought information from our program participants in both of those programs. We did 18 in-depth interviews and 29 surveys to obtain the information that we needed to evaluate. And so I just want to share what happened there and what we found out. So the first impact that we really thought, yep, we knocked this one out of the park every day. You know, this is our old thinking before we met Aaron and Steve, right? So we really felt we help seniors make sure their income is stable, make sure they understand where their income is coming from in retirement, because we found these are problems, and help them fix the problems, right? So what we found out is that seniors did tell us that we made a significant impact on helping them get educated about their retirement income, their pensions, and additional supports like things they get through Better at Home, rent subsidies, et cetera, that makes them stretch their income a little further. Yes, we had a great impact in that area, but what's interesting to me was the kind of the emotional ride that people went through when they retire. It was difficult for so many people, and they struggled to really, the reality check was like, wow, I have to live on this income now. I don't have any other income. So how am I going to make this work? And people were interesting about it because it was almost like a resignation, but then a contentment set in that, okay, I understand it now, and I feel better that I understand it. And I think I can maintain this myself in the future, which is, okay, the understanding led to a belief in themselves that, yeah, I can sustain this in future, which was really satisfying to see. It's tough. Yeah, you're going to live now on $20,000 a year, but we're going to help you stretch it. We're going to help you make the most of it and make sure you understand it going forward. So that was great to see that. It was tough for people, but it still worked. We're also really happy to hear that people, yes, were willing to, or they were, confident that they could really make it work. And we are especially happy to hear people saying that now I understand how much I have, I know what my expenses are, and now I can set aside a little bit of money just for something really fun and joyful for me once in a while, or for my family. That was great to hear. That made me happy. A second major impact that we identified was social inclusion. We felt that we offer supports in this, a nice environment where people can come, they can feel welcomed. We kind of saw ourselves as not judging people when they come to us, because sometimes they're laying out a whole lot of things that they really don't want people to see in their past, right? And so we thought that support maybe makes them feel connected in the community. We also offer programs, workshops where they can come in, be among people. We also have lots of volunteer opportunities. So We thought all these things would make them feel like there's an impact from Nexus BC in their feelings of social inclusion in the community. The data kind of had mixed results there. I don't think there was the social inclusion impact that we expected, but people were wanting more from us is really what they wanted. They said things like, you know, I really feel safe here. You helped me with a lot of this stuff around my income. It's great working with you. Don't you offer some sessions for groups where I could get to know people a little bit better? There's the social inclusion thing coming out. They're looking for more from us, right? You know, maybe you offer programs that I can partake in, is what more than one person said to us in the interviews, which was interesting. One thing that held people back a bit, which surprised me to the extent it was still there, was COVID-19. There's still a lot of fear among our seniors. And I just thought, I'm back at work, my life is returning to normal, but for a lot of those people, it hasn't. And they're still a bit fearful about coming out. But there was some optimism and we saw it and we were happy to see it. And so that hopefully they're going to come back and say, I need to get out in community. And it also presents an opportunity for us to say, here's something you could do together with other seniors. We hope you'll come and participate. And so it's a lesson for us that we can offer more, we can do more. So it's kind of an action. It's hope for people that things are going to be good. And volunteering is something, we saw the impact of volunteering, how important it is to people. And so we had one person telling us that volunteering had been something positive in life right now for them. And it gave them back something they'd lost over the last 3 years. So finally, our last impact was that people feel that they can survive independently, that they can move ahead. And we really saw really good things about this, really positive impacts about this. People told us that, you know, and pride was something I think that someone else brought up. And it's difficult to come forward and say, I need help. I don't know where to start. And so we recognized that maybe was holding people back. Maybe we need to look at the environment we offer and make it just a little bit different, the way we communicate to people, maybe a little more welcoming in future. We worry a little bit about seniors and a bit of a lack of confidence, still anxiousness about the future. So I really think we should be looking at things like maybe mental health supports in future, partnering with other organizations to offer group sessions or whatever it looks like, whatever the right thing is, but just to give people a place to talk. Okay, so also that was our project. I want to thank also Aaron and Steve, United Way and Esther, keeping us going here. And it really helped us take a different approach to the way we see the services we provide and the impact they have on people. Thank you.
Thanks, Pam. Next up, we have Shauna Forrest, who is going to share out the findings from Seniors Outreach Kelowna, who partnered with Westside Health Network Society.
Thank you, Erin. My name is Shauna Forrest. I'm the program manager for Seniors Outreach and Resource Center in Kelowna. And I'm here with my teammates, Sonia Newman and Karen Northcott, who are from the Westside Health Network, along with Bailey Hillman and Lana Grange, who couldn't be here today. Our focus is a little more ominous and heavy than most of them. Seniors Outreach and Westside Health Network are nonprofit societies, and we work together and provide numerous resources to help aging seniors maintain their dignity, stay connected to their community. And we provide a wide variety of resources and services to support the non-medical needs of older adults in the Central Okanagan. Overall, these programs experience a great deal of success and continue to improve and evolve to meet the needs of changing seniors in our community. And then there's housing. The reason we chose to focus on housing is due to the alarming number of seniors that are coming through our door, accessing our housing services. And as a matter of fact, it's the number one reason now our seniors are accessing our resource center is for housing. One participant in our project summarized it in a heartbreaking way, saying instead of golden years, seniors are facing homeless fears. A home is vital to everybody's health and well-being, And yet many seniors suffer silently to find access to housing, which is a basic need. Kelowna has a 3 to 4 year wait list for BC housing, and over half the people on that wait list are seniors. One senior said, "What's the point of even applying? I probably won't even be alive until I'm eligible." The average one-bedroom apartment in Kelowna goes for at least $1,500 a month, and that's being generous, which equates to about $18,000 a year that they have to pay to rent. And we know that 1 in 4 seniors are living on less than $22,000 a year. In response to this need, we offer a housing and navigation program. In this program, we assist seniors to explore options to secure stable housing. The SHINE program, the acronym being Senior Housing Information and Navigational Ease, is in collaboration with Senior Services Society and Seniors Outreach to help address the issues related to housing instability and affordability. It's very challenging to work within a community which has less than 1% vacancy rate, and people often reach out to us with very short timelines until they have no roof over their head. Temporary housing is non-existent in Kelowna, and the shelters are the only other resource that we have to give. And I don't think I have to tell you guys that the shelters in Kelowna are active wet sites, so it's no place for a senior. Due to this, we see many seniors living in other vehicles if they're fortunate to own one. Very recently, one of our program participants got blood clots because she was living out of her vehicle because she wouldn't access the shelters and had to have a lengthy stay in the hospital.
Could you speak closer to the microphone?
Yep.
Thank you.
Going into this project with a focus on housing, we were prepared that the results of our survey and study methods would not reflect well on our program. Despite this, we wanted to bring awareness to the dire situation that seniors face when trying to access one of the most basic human needs. The aim of our evaluation was to see what kind of quality of impact our housing program is having on seniors and what aspects of our program are causing this effect. Over the last 6 months, we conducted a mixed methods evaluation. We held in-depth qualitative interviews and had 79 seniors fill out surveys. And we discovered some really interesting things that were unexpected, and we were pleasantly surprised. In reviewing the data from the interviews, the surveys were finding that we have a very positive effect on the lives of seniors, even if we're not able to find them housing. We're creating strong community connections. They're better able to navigate the system, and they end up accessing all of our other programming. Data further indicates that our organizations were able to support seniors to feel more valued and empowered. We are there to help in any way we can. We add valuable resources to their lists, but unfortunately, in many cases, the safe, secure housing is not available. The data also indicates that seniors have gained emotional stability and have become more resilient with the help and trust of the organizations. Overall, through our findings, we recognize that there is still so much to do to reach our impact statements. Systematic roadblocks continue to be a huge obstacle in reaching safe, affordable housing for the community seniors. Going forward, we realize that it's of vital importance that affordable housing can be developed in central locations with easy access to hospitals, pharmacies, groceries, and other amenities. We can increase mental health support throughout the province. Seniors also need better access to senior-specific advocates to assist in the search for housing. And the cost of living and inflation crisis needs to be addressed for fixed-income seniors. It's important to share these findings to bring awareness to the dire situation that seniors face. Through these findings, we'll start by lobbying our local municipalities to investigate this ominous situation. And I'd like to give a heartfelt thank you to Esther and Aaron and Steve and Kahir and United Way. Thank you.
Thanks, Shauna. And finally, we have Wendy Garland representing Valley Community Services.
Good. Hello, everyone.
My name is Wendy Garland, and I am the coordinator of the Therapeutic Activation Program for Seniors, or better known as TAPS. TAPS operates under the umbrella of Valley Community Services, which is located in the beautiful Creston Valley. Our program serves seniors who are living independently in their own homes, but have become at risk for social isolation. We provide seniors with therapeutic activities and nutritious meals in a socially supported and holistic setting. TAPS has had the privilege of being acknowledged by United Way as a model for community-based senior service organizations in communities across BC. Over the past 6 months, we have done a mixed methods evaluation of our TAPS program to see what impacts we are having on our participants and how we can improve our program. Through 12 interviews and 41 survey responses, we were able to collect some very interesting qualitative and quantitative data. Almost all of our participants we interviewed told us that TAPS had become like family to them. Many seniors we serve do not have family close by or have no family at all, so TAPS has filled that void. One participant said their TAPS friends tell them they love them, and that was a very special thing. They have found a place to belong and can feel loved and supported by their peers. This was great news for us, as our program aims to reduce loneliness and isolation among seniors and shows us that we are meeting that goal. Another encouraging and surprising finding centered on the social aspect of our program. We found that the participants viewed every aspect of the program as an opportunity for social connection. From eating lunch together to doing a yoga class, the draw for most seniors to the activities was not in the activity itself, but in the social connection that it brought with it. Most seniors we interviewed said they knew their personal need for socialization. One senior said they were getting better at socializing since coming to TAPS, and it was building their confidence in their ability to connect. The social aspect was a bit of a double-edged sword, as participants are so engrossed in their social aspect of the program that they often miss the other important resources we offer. We asked in our interview what physical activities they tried since joining the program, and many of them said they couldn't think of any physical activities they did. We would say something like, "Didn't you do yoga with us this morning?" And they would go, "Oh, right, I didn't think of that." They also reported not doing any of the activities at home, since it was not in a class-like setting with peers and an instructor for encouragement. One of our solutions to this is to offer even more options for physical activities and highlight the benefits of exercise for the seniors' health and mobility. The finding that concerned us the most was around the dependency of our participants on the program. When we hear things like, "TAPS saved my life," and "I'd be lost without TAPS," it makes us as staff feel really good, but at the same time, it's very troubling. We asked the participants about the different community resources they knew, and most of them said they didn't know who they would contact, but you do. Or they would say, "If I'm in trouble, I've just come to you and you fix it for me." This made us concerned about what should happen to the participants if we were not there to help them. Would they be able to make the connections they needed without us? Our solution to this is to try to outsource resources and facilitate the initial connections between senior and service provider. Then we would step out and leave the senior to continue the connection on their own. We found the study to be very beneficial to our program. It showed us where our greatest impact is on the seniors we serve, and also how to improve our program to serve them better and promote best practices. I'd like to thank United Way and Esther and Erin for having this, as it was such a great learning opportunity, and we're really looking forward to implementing our findings in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Can you imagine doing research for 6 months? And look how happy they were and so connected. And I don't just say that to make you laugh. I think it truly happened. Like, I talked with a number of them. They came in thinking they were going to learn about evaluation, And they did, and you've heard about the different impacts. But I think the other bonus is that connection that they gained in their teams. Like, when do we get to spend an overnight with people that we work with, and share that time, share meals together? We've heard about how so many of the programs, that's what they're doing. The seniors come and they share a meal together and they feel connected. I heard in 4 of the 7 teams' findings this concern about dependency. I find that really interesting. I'm a mother. My daughter's actually here today, and there's that shift, right? We start our journeys as parents where they're dependent on us, and the shift is, how do we get them to be independent? But I liked what you were all saying, that really the shift is about interdependence, knowing where all your supports are, knowing where different strengths lie, so you don't have to be independent. Rather, you create a community of support so that you're not alone and you do the journey together. And I think that as we opened this event with Elder Glyda and Jade, their worldview in Indigenous communities is about interdependence. The goal is never to be independent. And I think it's interesting how in a lot of the research findings, we learned that people are learning to look left and right. So there's fear in them relying completely on us, but there's a lot of hope and joy in realizing that, wait a minute, we can sort of learn to lean on each other, ask for help, offer help, and be united in the way that we find fulfillment and in the way that we define healthy aging. So I want to thank everybody for sharing today. I do hope that you will continue to stay with us this evening. We'll have the opportunity to visit with the teams if you have some questions you'd like to ask. But I want to thank you for sharing this table. I started this with a poem. When we gather, we have the opportunity to share food, to share drink. But I think the best thing we have is a chance to connect on a personal level with someone, to share a joy together. And I just want to invite you to stay a little bit longer to share this table together and share some memories. So thank you again for coming today. Thank you for all of those people that made this event possible, and enjoy the rest of your evening, everyone.
Thank you.